All right, now I'm going to start getting into like alternative programs for like AA. So for this week, I'm going to talk about like Reach Out Recovery. It's another program that's not related whatsoever to AA. So ultimately, what I want to do is give options to people that like are pretty much like me that like either are going into like AA to start off thinking that it's the only way that there is. So for those people, I'm getting into this for those people to say like, look, don't make the mistake that I made, thinking that AA is the only way. So here are more options. So that way you don't feel like you have to do AA. Like you don't feel you have like get funneled into AA. Now, like I have made a case for it, like being a cult with using the bite method and everything. So like whether or not it is a cult, it definitely isn't a religion. And I've made like a video of like you need to get religion out of mental health. So instead of like I said, being one of those people like me where you get funneled into a like, oh, this is the only option or everything when you're first starting out. This is like a kind of like a series of videos where I'm going to start talking about like the alternatives to AA, so that way you're not like I said, not like me where like when you're first starting out, that you feel like you don't feel trapped, like that AA is the one and only way that there is, and like, well, I gotta do this and everything. This is the only way that's going to work for me. It's a case of like if I had known of all these alternatives beforehand, I would never have joined AA in the first place, and like I probably would have been able to get on with like my life a lot sooner and a lot quicker. That's like one of those what ifs. So what I can do is give people information so they don't make that mistake that I did, getting funneled into AA, feeling and thinking it's the only way that there is. Because like through the first several months after getting like kind of out of that alcohol induced brain fog, kind of it was probably about 3 or 4 months in, I started like sitting there questioning things. And of course, like I've gone over stuff like blame denial, the orange papers. I'll probably do a video on like 13 step documentary, which highlights all the abuse and everything that goes on in the AA rooms. And of course, I have mentioned Quackaholics Anonymous, which I came across, and like a lot of stuff that led me away, eventually away from AA and into like so. I've gone over like a smart recovery, and like I've done I did a video like AA versus smart recovery meeting, kind of comparison to the two. I've done my earliest videos are like going over the chapters of the Smart Recovery Handbook. So like this video, I'm going to concentrate on like a Reach Out Recovery, which is a different program, which was started back in like 2012 by a mother-daughter duo. And so I'm going to link like the website, the link to the website that like and it'll bring you right there. Now like it's a .com, because with it like it being more like towards like a business standpoint, it's going to be a .com link. So what you want to do is like with this one is once you look into this, start like researching like how like substance abuse works. Like start looking like I've mentioned before with like the .gov and .edu links, so you can sit there and like, okay, well, like I'm checking this out, this Reach Out Recovery program, or I hate using the word program because like I think AA ruined it. So, or I should say, this Reach Out Recovery way of life that lets me kind of switch bad habits with good habits. Let me research this, going through like psychology websites, government websites, educational websites like I said, .edu, .gov, to back my inquiries into this in searching like so I can back my like I don't have to necessarily sit there and like accept like the dogmatic religious approach like that's outdated nowadays, and like I can start actually getting into like a more scientific and like a technological, or like a basically like a 21st century approach to substance abuse, not like a 1930s religious program, if you want to call it a program. That's pretty much outdated, like I said. So reach out recovery isn't like an alternative to AA. So now personally, I'm probably more biased towards smart recovery because that's the one I came across and through my journeys. But it's not smart recovery isn't the only one. So this reach out recovery is another like I keep wanting to say program, even though it's more of like a path of life that gets you from those negative behaviors, and that pretty much through your substance abuse you are pretty much in like self-destructive behaviors, destroying your life, your relationships, pretty much everything. So if you can take the objective step back and look at oh hey, look, my life has gone to shit because of my drinking or my drug use. I need to do something about this. Let me start looking into ways that I can actually start flipping the script, doing that complete 180. So instead of on a I like to use the Friday, the happy hour Friday analogy. You, instead of, okay, well, if I go out with coworkers to happy hour, I know I'm going to get drunk and I'm going to make an ass of myself. I'm going to ruin my relationships with coworkers. Things aren't going to end well. So instead of doing that, let me use this reach out recovery and the tools that they have. Let me use these to sit there and instead of doing the happy hour, maybe I have my with me being big into fitness and everything, and having a number of videos on that, get my gym bag set up. So and I put it right by the front door, so on my way to work in the morning I'm basically tripping over it. So oh hey, look, it puts it right in front of my face, look, I need to bring this in with me. So that way at the end of the day at work, instead of going to the happy hour and basically engaging in negative behaviors that are going to end in a lot of negative consequences for me, I got my gym bag all ready to go and it's in my car, and oh hey, I can just instead of going this way to the happy hour, I can go this way and get to the gym and everything, and meet a lot better people that are going to sit there and if you're, especially if you're brand new and you're starting to learn, you can approach people now. A lot of times, in the gym analogy, you do find that you might find that one asshole who's recording you, pointing and laughing and everything, but that's kind of rare. 99.9% of the time, you're going to find people if you go up to them hey, look, I'm new, I'm still learning how to do exercise, and they'll be more than willing to help. So you can sit there and start building positive relationships. And like I said, you're going to flip the script. Instead of making negative relationships by getting drunk and doing all stupid shit by going to happy hour, you're making positive relations and then positive changes by meeting people that are going to the gym. Because you might sit there and oh hey, I'm kind of new, how can you help me with my form with my bench press and everything, because I'm still trying to learn how to do this and everything. And they help you, and maybe you get to talking, and they give you some stuff to research and everything, and then you get bouncing back and forth, and maybe you meet for coffee the next morning, and you basically build from there, and going and getting maybe your nutrition in check, building that community, that you're starting to maybe getting better sleep, better hydration, maybe you start learning about yoga and stretching for your mobility. So you're basically I'll reiterate, you're flipping the script from getting into those negative aspects of life by getting drunk and destroying relationships. Maybe you lose a job, or heaven forbid you get into legal issues and everything because of you drinking. You've pretty much wiped that clean, and you're now starting to get I've mentioned, starting those positive changes and everything. So you do the complete 180. So a reach out recovery is yet just another approach to dealing with substance abuse. So and I'll reiterate again that yeah, I'm biased towards smart recovery because that's what I came across, as my cat is knocking stuff down again. But smart recovery isn't the only approach that there is. So I'm talking about reach out recovery, which is just another one that another way of life that you can do to basically put your substance abuse behind you and everything. So it's not an overnight process, and it's pretty much you have to do it day by day, week by week, month by month, and of course over the course of years, and of course you're going to want to get professional help. So I can't say enough like how much professional help will do wonders for you. So especially early on. So like if you do this reach out recovery way of life, along with getting professional help with like a therapist, a counselor, or someone who's open to being like, oh hey, look, you don't want like the religion of AA. You want something that's actually going to be beneficial for you, and that's based in science and psychology, and that's basically up to date and like all the 21st century advances that we've made in the almost 100 years since the religious program of AA has come out and everything. And so this is just yet another way for you to basically put your substance and or alcohol abuse in the past where it belongs, and not having to get it thrown in your face and and being reminded of how much of a worthless person you are, or quite often is a worthless piece of shit that AA likes to drive home with your alcohol abuse and everything. So I'll post a link of this into the description. So it's Reach Out Recovery. So again, it's going to be a .com. So double check with the .edu and .gov websites, so you can actually get the up-to-date research on stuff that will back this up and everything.